Hey everyone, it's Mike from Music Ministry 101. I hope you had a really Merry Christmas this year and you had a good time with family and friends. We had a great Christmas this year with the two little ones. Clara is now 3 years old and Johnny is one. So you can imagine what our Christmas was like. So I wanted to just pop on here and share with you an offer that I'm doing, a promotion for the end of the year. Now, as you know, I teach music ministry, and so that includes vocal techniques. Usually, I teach these in psalm videos, respond and acclaim videos. I also like to teach sight reading. I teach private students. And outside of music ministry, I teach at a church and I teach at the college level. So this is my gig here. Um, and at the end of this year, I decided that it would be a great time to offer anyone who's looking to improve their skills as a singer or as a church choir director to just offer all of my programs for 50% off. And so I wanted to hop on here and see if anyone had any questions that I could answer, but also go through just what specifically I can offer you. Um, I see a few people are logging on. Hello. Please introduce yourself if you're here just to hang out. I'm basically just sharing some end of the year offers that I have through music ministry and explaining, some of the behind the scenes of this ministry that I have here. Um, so the first thing that I want to mention is that I love to teach vocal technique. This started back when I was a middle school teacher, and you can imagine at the middle school level, you have girls and boys, and the boys have really high voices, and the girls have really, really high voices. And over time, as you go from 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, the boys most of the boys' voices start to change, and they'll have a couple, like, voice cracks. They won't know what's going on, so I try to explain everything that's going on, and then after a little while, their voice will basically go much lower. So, all that to say is vocal technique is such a weird thing because you can't see the vocal mechanism, and that makes it hard. So in order to teach vocal technique, um, you have to use like a lot of really unique skills that aren't easily accessible. And so when I started singing in high school, I really wasn't good. I was actually terrified to sing. And so I started slowly. And then when I got to college, I realized that I wasn't that good because I didn't have any vocal training. And so I started to get vocal training at the college just by being around singers, working with the voice faculty, and also just going online and doing my own research. And I started to train my voice, and it worked really, really well. So that was like phase one of my vocal training. And what I've done with Advanced Vocal Technique, my online training program, I've put all of those things in there and much more so that you can actually start to train your own voice. So if you're just hopping on here, I'm offering 50% off all of my programs. These are online courses that you can go to musicministry101.com and click on products and click on any of the programs there. It's Advanced Vocal Technique is the one we're talking about. There's also How to Sight Read Music and Choir Essentials for choir directors. Those are all 50% off. You just have to use the discount code Happy Birthday. So you type that in at the checkout and you're good to go. So, anyways, getting back to vocal technique. By the way, if you have any vocal technique questions, please put them in the chat. I'll make a note about that here. If you have any vocal technique questions, please put in the chat here. Also, for any program, go to musicministry101.com/products. Okay. All right. So let's get back to it. So another thing that happened, so one part of the story is that I was learning vocal technique myself. The other part of the story is that I was an active church music minister, um, since I was about 12 years old. And I realized pretty quickly on, sadly, that a lot of singers and even accompanists in the church don't have a lot of training. So the gap between like a collegiate level singer and a church singer was often pretty great. And I realized that was a problem that I thought I could help with. I have a background in computers, so it's easy for me to film videos and then put them into a program and actually teach things. I'm also a good teacher, so I can do that. So I realized I had this like unique skill set to teach people about vocal technique. So, anywho, I created Advanced Vocal Technique, which is program, and what it does is teaches you how to sing. So it teaches you a number of skills that you need, and I'll just post a link in the description. Post and it teaches you a number of skills you need to become a better singer. So going through the program, from top to bottom, I actually have it open right here. I know you can't see it, but there's a welcome at the beginning and a number of quick start videos. So it talks about how your voice works, how to basically guarantee your success with practice methods, how to sing without tensing up, how to align your body using Alexander technique, and vocal warm ups to slowly and gently warm up your voice. Um, Basically, a number of amateur singers don't know how to warm up properly, so they end up blowing out their voice in the warm up. So I teach you how to avoid that. The next section is all about breath supports. So breath support is like the fuel for the voice. As the air comes up here over the vocal folds, they basically vibrate. Oh, my arm. They basically vibrate at a certain frequency, and that allows you to sing a number of different notes. So the key is that you have the right fuel, which is that air. And to activate your breath support muscles, there's a number of ways to do it. They talk about in the program, of course, but I'll just give you one here. Um, so here's one. If you sit up nice and tall, excuse me, and then we're going to do an FT sound. So now I'm doing that very aggressively, right? And I can feel the muscles down around here that are activated because those are the breath support muscles. So I'm using a lot of muscle to force that to force that sound. And so when you discover what your breath support muscles are, then you can start to learn to activate them. And you can also just basically increase that fuel source for your voice, which makes for less tension, a better tone. It just helps. It's the number one thing. It just helps every element of the voice, better diction. And so let's do a quick breath support test, just us here. And what we're going to do is sitting tall, we'll take a deep breath in and we'll sing just on an ah vowel and see how long we can sustain that ah vowel for. Okay, so we'll literally just breathe in and go ah, and let's see how long you can sustain it, how long I can sustain it. This is when your spouse is going to be like, okay, they're losing it. They're losing it. All right. Here we go. Nice deep breath in and sing on ah. All right, let's do it one more time. Usually I can go longer than that. All right. So, did I win or did you win? Put it in the chat. Okay, here we go. Let's do it one more time. Oh, all right. So I'd love to know if how you did on that. So that's after like no warm up, but also having worked on breath support a bit. So if you didn't get quite as far as I did, that's because I've worked on my breath support. And you can do that as well, getting advanced vocal technique for 50% off for the rest of the year. So anywho, going back to it, breath support is the key. I've got 5 videos here about teaching you how to do breath support better. The next section is about resonance. So resonance is all about how the sound resonates in your body. And there's something called the soft palate, which is in between my fingers, which you can learn how to raise. You also have your tongue here, and you have to figure out where that's supposed to go so it's not disrupting the sound of your voice. You also have your jaw and your jaw can be released. So you've got that as well. And all those little tweaks can help control resonance. The next section is all about English diction and singing very clearly in very with very crisp vowels and also consonants. The vowels is it's so funny. Consonants are actually relatively straightforward because it's hard to mess up a consonant like a p, d, g. It's hard to mess those up. But vowels, people do really weird things with vowels when they're singing. It's such a unique thing. And so in this section, Mastering English Diction, we go through all the vowels, all the things that singers tend to mess up as they're singing vowels. Same thing with consonants and other rules about when you sing an R sound and you flip your R or roll your R. Stuff like that is all in this section, Mastering English Diction. And finally, there's a bonus section which has 3 bonus videos. I'll just mention 1 right now, or I'll mention all 3. So the first one is about basically praying the psalm videos. So or praying the psalms before you go to sing the psalms. And that is presented by my mom actually, who's a secular Franciscan. So she goes deep into how to pray with the psalms before you sing them. The second bonus video in my advanced vocal technique program is about advanced microphone strategies, how to use the microphone well to increase congregational singing. And the third video is about the evolving singing voice. So as you get older, what happens to your voice? How can you keep it in tip-top shape? And that's presented by Professor Karen Brunson, who is an expert on the aging voice or the evolving voice. So that is advanced vocal technique in a nutshell. So if you'd like to get that for 50% off, it's available through the end of the year, so a few more days. All you have to do is click the link in the description below and use the discount code Happy Birthday when you check out. But for the folks that are on here, let me know if you have any vocal technique questions, and I'd be happy to answer them on this live chat. Okay, so that's advanced vocal technique available for 50% off until January 1st. The next program is called How to Sight Read Music. That's also an online training program. Now, this program was something that I started when the pandemic hit. So when the pandemic started in 2020, we were all looking for things to do. And so I started to do live streams teaching singers how to read music. And reading music is such an essential part about singing, right? I mean, you can learn things by ear, but it's going to take you a heck of a lot longer than if you know how to read the notes. And it's a pretty cool trick. I wish I had a hymnal right here. I don't think I do, but I can take a hymnal, right, like that you'd have in church, and flick to any page, play the starting note on the piano, and sing it straight through because I know how to sight read. So people get this confused. Sight reading is not when you It's not when you can sing a melody from thin air, but with exact pitches, but it's when you can take the first starting pitch from a piano and then sing the melody without the use of the piano. So people get that confused. But to be clear, let's say you were camping in the woods and you didn't have a starting pitch, you could still flick through your hymnal and say, "Oh, this look at this song. Okay, I think that note's probably about here. Do." And then you could sing the song starting on that note. It might not be exactly in the right key, but at least you'd get the gist of the song and you'd be able to it would sound like the song because you're just singing it in a different key. Or if you do have perfect pitch, then it's kind of a non-issue where you can actually sing in the right key. So anyways, I started to create these how to read music lessons, which I was live streaming in 2020, and people loved them. We had over 100 people come and learn how to read music, how to sight read. And so I decided to put that into a program, make it better, crunch it up a little bit, make a number of practice sheets as well so people could really go home and practice to get the skill down. And that's what I did. And it's now called How to Sight Read Music, or How to Read Music. It teaches you from an absolute basic level, like here are the 5 lines, here are the 4 spaces, this is how notes move up and down, and it teaches you all that. Then we go into solfege and learning how to sight read, read by sight using solfege. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and that's what the professionals use. So that's what I teach in this program. If you're just hopping on, all my programs are 50% off through the end of the year. So that's advanced vocal technique, how to sight read music, and also choir essentials, which is for choir directors primarily. You can get those by clicking the link in the description below. Musicministry101.com/products is how you get there, or just go to musicministry101.com and then click on products in the top right. So it's a great opportunity to get into some of these programs before the end of the year. Okay, so anyways, yeah, teach people how to sight read music. This program comes with practice sheets. So every lesson, and it's several hours of material, every lesson has practice sheets for you to practice. I wish I could show those to you. But they're very well done. There's also cheat sheets at the end of this program. So you have cheat sheets about the notes and the duration of notes. You have strategy guides for singing skips. You have key signature quick references. So you can look at a key signature, 4 sharps, what key is that? E E majors, 4 sharps. Steps to using solfege, how to get around the music. Like if you ever get lost in an octavo or a piece of music, this will teach you how not to get lost. Solfege hand signs, which you can do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, so, mi, fa, re, ti, do, do. You can use the hand signs. They're a bit tricky to learn at the start, but they do pay off, and the church singers warm up, which is great to have as well. So all that stuff is in How to Sight Read Music. I'll leave a direct link for that program in the chat. Just give me one sec. So I go to musicministry101.com, click on products, How to Sight Read Music. This is a great program, and the price of the information here is just crazy cheap. So yeah, at the checkout, use the discount code Happy Birthday. And the final program, this is for choir directors primarily. So it's called the Choir Essentials Training Program. And what this is it teaches choir directors how to recruit singers, how to teach singers new music, and how to be a shepherd of your singers to really help them. Choirs, I don't know if you know this, but choirs can be places that have folks that are on the needy side, right? They need things. Of course, we all need things, but choirs members can be a bit more needy sometimes. So, how do you shepherd them? How do you help them? Teaching, maybe you have a choir and they're not used to singing in parts. So, in the program, I teach you how to teach them how to sing in unison, how to sing in 2 parts, 3 parts, 4 parts. That's a really valuable section if you've never done it before. And especially if you've been thrown into a choir director position, like, hey, could you be the choir director? And that happens all the time. You need to know what you're doing. So you can learn how to be a choir director by getting the Choir Essentials training program, which is really, really great. And that third module was recruiting new singers. As you know, church attendance has been declining for a while. So, what are the skills you need to actually recruit more singers? My choir has more singers this year, new singers coming in, and I use these strategies in this program to recruit new singers. Then there's a couple priceless videos, magic fixes for choir rhythm, pitch, and vocal blend. So I'll just give you one right now. Let's say your choir starts singing Amazing Grace, and it sounds really bad because you have all these different voices sticking out, right? One person sings loud, one person sings like really shrill sounding, one person isn't tuning very well. Well, one thing you could do is direct their hearing in different places that can help with the choir blend. So you say, okay, sing it one more time, but this time listen in towards the middle of the group as you're singing. Usually that's a night and day fix right there. Because rather than just singing out like that, they start listening and they start blending their voices with the people next to them. Another way to do it is you can tell them to imagine they're in a trio with the 2 people next to them and to fit their sound into the sound of those people. And that's another great way to help with vocal blend of a choir really, really quickly. Then I also have a video all about organization strategies for choir directors, things that save me tons of time and that will save you tons of time as well. And then I have a final video about if your choir is just first starting to sing in harmony, these are 5 songs that you could use to start singing in harmony with them. And I find those to be very helpful as well. So you got to remember that I taught middle school for 5 years. And when you teach middle school, you learn how to teach and you learn how to work with people that don't have a lot of experience. And so those skills I basically just translated into the choir directing realm, and bam, you've got all these online training programs. So I'll say it one more time. The training programs that I've created are 50% off through the end of the year. So a couple more days that they'll be 50% off. If you'd like to get them, just go to musicministry101.com. You can click on products in the top right hand corner and then click on the program that you're interested in, either advanced vocal technique, how to sight read music, or choir essentials, which is for choir directors. And they're all 50% off, so half off, which is crazy. You just have to use the discount code happy birthday when you go to the checkout. Um, these programs have taught and helped hundreds of singers and hundreds of maybe not hundreds of music directors, but certainly hundreds of singers. And the reviews for them are outstanding. So if you look at those any of those 3 programs, you can scroll down and I usually put all the reviews, not all of them, but a bunch of reviews. And the things that people say about these programs, the way that they've helped them become more confident singers, more confident leaders in church. It's just astounding. And so I feel like it's my job to encourage people to get them because they're super valuable and they're valuable for your church as well. So If you are interested in learning more, becoming a better music director, just go to musicministry101.com. By the way, I'll open it up for questions. If there are any more questions, please put them in the chat, and I'm happy to answer any questions about music, vocal technique, choir directing, anything you've been looking to ask. Go ahead and put that in the chat. And we'll just give it a sec. There's usually like a 30-second delay for anything like this with a live chat room. Is there any other way that I could possibly help you guys become better church music ministers? You can put that in the chat as well. If there's something else you need to learn about, you can put that there as well. One area of interest that I feel like I could really help people with is singing, is like defeating your nerves and singing confidently. I've got a lot of tricks on my sleeve to help people with their confidence when they're singing, and those things aren't anywhere. You have to like really dig to find those things. Basically, if you're in a choir, you need to ask your music director, "Hey, I have stage fright. What should I do?" Right? And there's probably 5 or 10 things that you can do to help with nerves and to help with stage fright. And so I thought that could be a good idea to help people like you, go to church on Sunday, get ready to sing, and defeat your nerves, or just be more confident and a better leader when you get up to the pulpit. So I thought that could be helpful as well. If you're just popping on, I think we're going to be calling it a night in a minute. So if you have any questions about vocal technique or anything like that, please put it in the chat below. Um, all of my training programs are 50% off through the end of the year. So you can get those at half off, which is crazy. I only do this for a few days. So I do it and then I close it. So if you'd like to get those, just go to musicministry101.com and you can click on the products button in the top right. The 3 programs I have to offer are Advanced Vocal Technique, that teaches you the skills of the professional singers, collegiate level and above. I also teach how to sight read music, which is another program that teaches you how to open up a hymnal, play the starting note of a song, and just sing it, be able to sing it straight away. And the third program is for choir directors. It's called Choir Essentials Training Program, and it teaches you a solid baseline of skills that you need to be a good choir director. How to get your choir sounding good, how to recruit more members, and how to shepherd your members to have a really positive experience. So I'll check the chat one more time, see if there's any questions. I don't see any questions, so that is fine. I hope you folks have a good night. And again, all the programs are 50% off for a couple days. So go to musicministry101.com and check those out. All right, have a great night and see you in another video.